The Lions had won 3 in a row against the Packers in Green Bay after going a very long time without having success on the road in that annual rivalry. This one never felt like it was close. There was a late garbage time touchdown that makes the final score look a little more respectable in the papers, if there are papers anymore, anywhere. 27-13. It doesn't really encapsulate the butt-kicking the Lions took in their first game without Ben Johnson running the offense and without Aaron Glenn running the defense.
No, I think – I mean, I think one of the main thing that jumps out to me right away, right? First off, Green Bay's a really good football team. Green Bay has a Super Bowl roster, Super Bowl team, especially now with Micah Parsons. I think maybe that was one of the only thing they were missing was that guy that can make a big play in big moments and make some plays outside the playbook on the defensive side. They got that done. Right? I'm sure they had this circled on the calendar all year because of the things you just said. Detroit's had our number. They've been coming in here to Lambeau to whoop our ass. I was going the whole year. I'm so mad I didn't pick Green Bay. I chickened out because of Jordan Love's injury, and I was afraid he might not look the same because of what we saw last year. But they were clearly the better team. And I think the biggest thing that jumped out is kind of what you're alluding to here. The edge that we're used to seeing the Detroit Lions play with was not there. It was not there. The intensity, the physicality, whatever it may be. Now, you can listen to people in Detroit. I know you've heard me say, hey, the offensive line there in training camp, it was all over the place. It looked like it in the game yesterday. That interior part of the offensive line was nothing special. I think still, even though you and I didn't, I do think the national media, for the most part, just glossed over. The Lions are still good. It doesn't matter Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson aren't there. No. They were part of their edginess. Yeah, that's plain and simple. You talk to people in Detroit, Ben Johnson, he's tough to work for. He keeps everybody on the edge. He's just, you're staying here and work. You got to do this. F you. We got to do more. We got to do more. That's the way he is. That was part of why they were so good on the offensive side of the ball. So that certainly looked like it's missed. They didn't run the ball. They got beat up physically. Jared Goff certainly never got in a rhythm that way. And Micah Parsons and the plays he got in had his way with Penei Sewell. And Jordan Love and the Packers came out firing. So Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, great win by them. And great job by Matt LaFleur, who never gets enough credit for when they win football games. We only talk about him when he loses a playoff game.
And look, Penei Sewell still won his share.
Yeah.
But he had the kinds of moments that we're not used to seeing where someone gets
pushed
the better
back.
of him.
Right. I know they said there was only
once.
2 pressures. That's a subject. That's up to what do I want to say? Subjective. Exactly right. Thank you. That's subjective because I know I saw more than 2 plays where he pushed Penei Sewell back, and I was like, Jared Goff felt that. But to your point, he threw Penei Sewell. I mean, we showed it last night. He threw him around in the run game once. He beat him with the inside move a number of times. And on the interception that Jared Goff throws to Evan Williams when the game was still in the balance, and I don't know if we have that play, guys, where Goff throws the interception, but that was forced by Micah Parsons. He's coming out. It looks like he's going to run the speed rush. He dips under. Goff kind of sees it. He knows he's got to get the ball out of his hands quickly. When that happens, you can't make that final assessment of, wait, where is everybody in coverage? He throws the ball. Evan Williams makes a nice play, interception, and that kind of felt like the moment where it was like, Detroit could have kept this competitive, and now they're going to lose control, and Green Bay's going to dominate.
It's the point that Jason Garrett made on this program 10 days ago, the morning after the Micah Parsons trade, when Trayvon Diggs and Deron Bland are intercepting those passes. Look at what's happening around the quarterback.
Right.
And Jason said this yesterday multiple times. Micah Parsons hurries everything up. He forces you to execute faster. He forces you to process faster. He forces you to get rid of the ball faster. And the faster you're trying to do it, the greater the chance
Here's the
that
play.
you're going to make mistakes.
Guys didn't want to listen to me before when I said play the damn play when we go, but here we go. This is the play we're talking about. I mean, look at that. I mean, it's an incredible move. And then here in the runway, he doesn't play the run. Got
to stop the run.
First off, stop all that bull crap
Hey,
out
we got to
there.
stop the run.
And Dallas Cowboys stop. You played a defense where you didn't ask him to play to stop the run. You didn't ask him to stop the run. He played wide 9 Seattle defense. He wasn't not a part of the run game. You can't go, wait, we don't care about you about the run. We don't care. You don't have to worry about the run. You don't care about the run. And then when you trade him away, go, hey, he didn't play the run very good. Well, if you told him to, he would have. You're like bull crap. Another bullcrap thing by the Cowboys.
It's all part of this game that they played and lost. They played chess with Micah Parsons and his agent David Mulugheta, and they found themselves in checkmate 10 days ago, and they had to trade him. Here's Micah Parsons from after the game on what the past few months have been like for him.
Super relief. I'm telling you, like, these last 6 months was super draining, super toxic for everyone. I mean, it's something that, I don't think no player should have to go through. I think players' fate should be decided earlier. I think the fact that I was traded a week before the season, it was really outrageous and rough. It's something where I could have been with these guys getting better and better, and we could have had probably even more dominant start, if that was the decision we was going to make. So I'm just happy that's behind. These guys embrace me. They believe in my talents. They believed in me, and I'm just going to give these guys everything I have because I know what's at stake. I know what they gave up for me to be here, and I'm going to do what it takes for us to win.
Agree 100% with everything he said. This should have been done earlier. The Cowboys thought they had him. The Cowboys thought they'd win this. The Cowboys thought, I believe, they would kick the can into next year before they had to pay him. And it all blew up in their face. And kudos to Parsons and his representation for holding firm. They kept their mouths shut. And think of how hard it would be if Jerry Jones was your ultimate boss. And it starts with this gotcha game of, that meeting you came in for and we talked about leadership or whatever. Oh, we reached an agreement on what your contract's going to be. There's nothing to talk about. Don't have your agent call me. We have an agreement, man to man. Doesn't your handshake mean anything? Reduce it to writing and let's sign it. Let's go. We have an agreement. We have an agreement. We have an agreement. And that's your existence as you're trying to spend the whole time saying, I didn't agree to anything.
Yeah, right.
You have to talk to my agent before we have an agreement. Right. So I credit Micah for how he handled himself. He had that one statement. The online, Twitter posted, request for a trade, and we knew instantly, it's not a game. This isn't negotiating. The back thing was part of the game.
Sure.
And it was a game he won.
Right.
He identified a way in a CBA that is lopsided against the players. He found a weakness, and he took advantage of it. And I credit him for that because it wasn't a fake injury. It's the kind of injury that if you don't have long-term security, you rely on it to say, I'm not going to put myself at further risk.
Right.
We talked about that on Thursday.
Right.
And it worked. Yeah. Bottom line is it worked. He got, depending upon how you view what his fifth-year option ultimately would have been because it wasn't settled yet. He's either defensive lineman at 21.3.
Well, which is another bullcrap thing that the Cowboys were trying to do.
That they're trying to short him by $2.5 million. But regardless, it's either $26.5 or $46.5 or $47 million per year. The Cowboys were never going to come close to that. It worked out well for them. It worked out well for the Packers. It's only one game. Let's see how it goes. But he played 30 snaps. 30 snaps, 45% of the defensive snaps, and he had a disproportionate impact on the game than 45% of the snaps.
Right. That's why we always talk about if we got one player to pick on defense in football right now, we're picking Micah Parsons. And he said it right. They believe in him. And, man, you could tell how exhausted he is emotionally there. That was cool to see him being that real in that moment. But way to go, Packers. Way to keep Jordan Love sharp when he was dealing with his fractured thumb and some of that stuff there. I think they took the right approach by still getting him reps in 7-on-7 and make sure he was okay there because we saw last year when he didn't practice, he wasn't sharp. But he was sharp yesterday. They came out aggressive, and they won all three phases of this football game. They were clearly the better, more physical football team. The other thing we questioned a little bit, or at least I did with the Packers, was their wide receiver room. Right? Jaden Reed, he's really damn good. He was injured coming in, through most of the training camp. When he's healthy, damn, is he good. Romeo Doubs, we've talked about it a lot. It's a little all over the place. But when he's focused and everything in his life is right, he's damn good too. And then we got the rookie, right, Matthew Golden, who hopefully he can continue to be a part of that offense. They're going to run the ball. Josh Jacobs going to be a part of it. Green Bay is for real. That was a big win for them. And the last thing I'll say about this game before we move on is Ben Johnson's awesome, and I worry about Detroit. I know John Morton's good, but I'm telling you, Ben Johnson is awesome, and that was not encouraging yesterday with what we saw. And the beauty of Ben Johnson is not only the plays he can draw up in the dirt where you just go, I've never seen anybody do that. It's the way he calls the game. He's a master at setting things up and play sequencing. You hear me say that a lot. That's the gift of a lot of good play callers. It's play sequencing and how you call and deliver plays to trick the defense, and they don't have that anymore. And I'm going to be interested to see what this looks like in Detroit.
I know this is subject to debate, but I'm reminded of getting a text unsolicited from a former head coach during last football season, not Mike Zimmer, obviously, but a former head coach texted and said, Ben Johnson is the best play caller in the NFL right now, and it's not even close.
Yeah,
now again, there are other great ones.
But there's no question it's top 2, 3,
but you
4.
remove him, and you're breaking in a new guy, and you can say all you want. It's part of the effort to sell the locker room on the idea that everything is fine.
Right.
Everything is fine. Right. We've lost 8 assistant coaches. Everything is fine. We're still the Lions. We're still talented. We're still going to be good. You have to get them to buy in, and you need to win early to get them to buy in, because doubts creep in. If it's not like it was last year, they go from 15-2 to 0-1, half as many losses in one afternoon that they had all of last year. So you start thinking maybe it is different, and this is going to be the challenge for Dan Campbell, to get this thing settled quickly and start stacking wins so the players will say, okay, we will be fine.
Yeah.
We will be fine with John Morton.
Right.
And, oh, by the way, next week they
got the
they
Bears
play
and Ben Johnson. Exactly right.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.